I'm so excited to speak to my next guest because this is an awesome fight. It's going to be taking place July 9th, UFC Fight Night. He's going to be taking on David Onama. It's Austin Lingo here on the program. Austin, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm real good. Yep.
Yeah, I bet. Really excited for the matchup, which we'll talk about in 1 second. But I wanted to go all the way back to February. We know you're supposed to fight Jonathan Pierce. I know you had an injury. What exactly happened there for people who might not know?
Yeah. Well, I was in camp, and the guy put me in an ankle lock, and my leg was straight. Nothing happened to my knee, but something popped. It was weird, and I just was limping on it, man, that week. And I was like, I can't fight this week. What the heck? Yeah. In 2 weeks. I was like, no.
Okay.
And the doctor, he just said it was like some meniscus tear or something. I don't know, something with my foot tendon, or I don't know, in my ankle. I don't know what it was.
Gotcha. Okay. So I imagine, did you have to get surgery for that, or how did you heal the injury? Was it just rehab?
Yeah, just rehab. He had this machine that it's like ultra. It's like for like. It just ticks. It's like a metal thing. I don't know. It hurt.
No worries. Neither of us are doctors, but it's something to help the injury, obviously, with the rehab.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And when were you actually able to train again, like full force? Like, how long did the injury keep you on the sidelines?
About a month and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, or 2 months. Yeah, I was out.
Okay. No, understandable. So I imagine you wanted to get in there a little bit sooner than July, or what was the sort of ideal time for you to return if you could have chosen your next fight?
If I could have I would have chose April. Anytime in April or May, I would. Man, it's been a year since I fought. Man, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm tired of not fighting.
Yeah, for sure. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I know for some of the fighters at Fortis, Safe sort of handles all the contracts and stuff with the UFC. Is that sort of the same thing with you, or do you have a manager?
He does. He does most of the management for me. I have a manager, but they mainly just give me sponsors. They talk to the UFC for me and stuff. But
oh, cool.
They just make sure Safe knows everything first and approves everything.
Yeah. He's the general. I mean, he's got to be in the loop, right? It's super important. So yeah, I referenced it off the top, man. David Onama. How excited were you to get this fight? Because this looks like it's got Fight of the Night written all over it.
Oh, definitely. I was really excited, man. He's a banger. I'm a banger. We both like to get in there and throw down. So it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. And similar records, too, as far as what you guys have both accomplished. Style-wise, is it just a striking battle, or am I missing something here?
I'm a ground guy, too. So it could go wherever, I plan to keep it standing, It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. Training camp, obviously a lot of your teammates have competed recently. Who have you had a chance to work with, and who are you going to continue to work with leading up to this fight? Because I know, again, you had a couple teammates just compete recently.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody really, just Miles Johns, Damon Jackson, a couple other people. I'm trying to think.
Fernie Garcia, I know, just fought recently, right?
Yeah, Fernie Garcia. Yep. Who else we got in there? Bunch of guys, man. Steven Peterson, he just got back. So,
and I know Damon. I know he's still an active UFC fighter. But I know Damon's sort of taking the role as a bit of a coach as well. Does he work with you on strategy at all? I know he does with Fernie.
Yeah, definitely. He works with me a lot. Mainly, I just go in there in the mornings and we just throw down for like an hour. Like he's like, man, we're just gonna just go live for a whole hour, and I'm just like, it's crazy.
Well, how much of an asset is that in camp? Because you've got obviously Coach Safe, who sort of runs everything, but then you get sort of this additional help, and not only a training partner, but also from the coaching standpoint of Damon Jackson. How important is that to get that extra little bit of help?
Man, you always need that extra help, because it's like there's those little details, those little moments, it makes you go the extra step in fights. It's like you just remember, it's like that work. You got to put in work.
You mentioned being off for a while. How's the weight cut going? We got lots of time before the fight, but does that process start now, or when you sort of trying to slim down a bit for the fight?
I'm already pretty much slimming down. I'm slimmed down for the fight already. I'm 20 pounds out. I can cut that in a week, 2 weeks, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna make sure I cut it in June, something around the 20th or something.
Makes sense. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight? I imagine Coach Safe, who also will be making the trip with you. Do you know that yet?
I don't know yet. I gotta ask teammates what their schedules are, and figure out what everybody's gonna.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. How's this fight playing out? I don't think this is going to the judges' scorecards. Is that kind of how you're seeing it?
I do. Yeah, definitely. Man, it's gonna be a good fight because he likes to stand in there in the pocket. So it's like it could go either way.
Well, and we saw in the last fight, he's a pretty tough guy. Does that change the strategy a bit, just knowing he's not going to be an easy guy to put away?
Uh, I mean, I've never seen him get hit with some of the things that I can throw. So, you know, uh, I'm not too worried. I'm worried. I always keep my hands up. So,
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. How many more fights do you have left on your contract? I was curious about that.
this is my last fight on my contract. So it's I'm all in.
Yeah. Do you like that though? The stakes are high because especially if you get a win here over a guy who became pretty popular over the last little bit in David Onama, that's got to help with the negotiations, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I get this big things.
Yeah. Have you been in this type of, I mean, I'm probably not, but I was going to say, have you been in this type of situation before where you're literally having to fight to keep your job in a sense, because obviously if you lose, it's tough to, sort of make that case to resign, right?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I know it's gonna be a banger either way. It's gonna be a good fight. So I think the UFC is gonna keep me. Just because I throw down and put on a show.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, like, you never want to have the mentality that, oh, it doesn't matter what's going to happen, but you got to feel good with your fight style that, they're probably going to want to keep you around as opposed to, say, someone who's like a wrestler, right?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I like to stand and fight. That's what the fans like to see.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
And just to clarify, so this is the second last fight and then you have one left, or is this the last fight on the deal? I was trying to remember.
This is the last fight on my contract. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. The stakes are high, which are great. And I imagine if all goes well here, you get the win and everything else. You want to keep active because we talked about the layoffs there. And even before that, I know you had a bit of a gap in between fights. Is the plan to get, maybe a couple fights in this year? Is that what you're looking at?
Definitely. Yeah. I plan to get I'm trying to get at least 3 fights a year, man. I hate waiting a year to fight, and it's crazy. It's like, or 6 months, even 7 months between fights. That sucks. That layoff.
No, it's tough. How do you manage that? Do you have another job like outside of fighting? Like how do you, because when you're not fighting, you don't get paid. So and I know you have sponsors and everything else, but how have you been able to sort of get through the last little bit here?
Private training sessions here and there. I got a sponsor who has a concrete business. He'll let me come out and just like drive the truck or something. I'll get paid a lot of money. He pays me pretty good for that if I want to go make some money that week or something. But mainly PTs and just training people, teaching boxing.
Has it helped since you've been in the UFC, kind of telling people like, hey, I'm a UFC fighter, you can train with me? Is that an easier selling point than maybe when you were on the regional scene?
Oh, definitely, definitely, yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's awesome. That's the thing I think with fighters, is once you get to the UFC, you can always say like you're a UFC fighter, and I'm sure the branding side of things with anything that you do is a little bit easier because you can just say, hey, I'm a UFC fighter, right? I'm sure you've seen that as well.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Opens up a lot of doors, which is great. We talked all about fighting here, man. What about downtime? What have you been up to? You been watching any Netflix? You playing any video games? You been watching any other sports? You've been doing any hiking? Like, what have you been up to, as far as things outside the gym?
I just got done with this Netflix series called The Last Ship. This was pretty good. I only watched the first 2 seasons because then it got, I don't know, the good people died that I wanted to live. And I was mad.
Okay, fair enough.
Mainly doing that, just watching that, and playing video games, going to movies, whatever.
Nice.
Hanging out, married life.
Yeah, how's married life?
Yeah, it's great, man. It's great.
That's good. What about video games? You mentioned it there. What are you playing right now?
Playing Apex and Call of Duty right now.
That's good. Now, do you play online with other people, or do you just play on your own?
No, yeah, I play online with other people. Yeah.
Now, do you talk some smack? And if so, has that helped your trash talk game a bit in MMA? Because I know there's a lot of kids on there.
Oh, yeah. I talk smack a lot, but I don't try to tell them who I am or anything.
Have people ever figured out that you're like a UFC fighter at all? Because I'd imagine if I'm a kid and I'm trying to insult someone, I probably wouldn't want to annoy a UFC fighter, right?
Yeah, right. People know sometimes, but I don't really talk crap to the people who know.
Yeah.
or anything.
No, for sure. I wouldn't imagine you're like an instigator. You're a pretty nice guy, so I couldn't see that sort of happening there. We're really looking forward to this card. It's UFC Fight Night, July 9th. Austin, thank you so much for the time. It's always great catching up with you, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
All right, man. Check me out on social media, Austin Lingo, one word, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit me. I got a shout out to my sponsors: Solid Concrete Foundations, Chicken Pound. We got Laundry Sauce. Shout out Sucker Punch Entertainment. Fortis MMA, all teammates. Shout out Uncle Brian.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.